Welcome back, Red Shoes Diary. Up here on top of the ridge again, just in a different spot. Crossed over onto the cousin side a little bit, one of their fields. Beautiful view over there. Sometimes when the trees and stuff during the fall, tree leaves and stuff's gone, you see a lot more over here, but that's a beautiful view. A little different. I was down there practicing shooting a while ago, so if you hear any bang, 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 it's not me, and I don't reckon nobody's shooting at me. Just some of the neighbors getting to practice it. Anyway, I hope you've had an excellent week. Hope things have went well. I hope you're feeling fat and sassy, or hope at least you're feeling cool. It's been a little warm here the last few days, for the last week or so. Enough, as old saying goes, get out and sweat the poison out of you, as old man used to say all the time. Boy, I sweat the poison out of you. So I don't know if it's sweat the poison out of you, sweat the meanness out of you, or whatever. By the time you get done, you get to the house, you pretty much, you're about done for the day. Anyway, can't complain. It's a family deals, I had a cousin passed away. And of course, when you go to the funeral home, you see kin. And then past weekend, we had a large family reunion. First cousins, different ones come in. It's grown smaller as years go by. When we was young, I can remember my grandfather, Papa, and his brothers, and Mama's sisters, all this stuff, great aunts, uncles, and then you had your own aunts, uncles, and your cousins, first cousins, all this stuff. So, but with the progression of life, a lot of those are gone now. That's part of it. Whether people like it or not, that breath you took, you can't take it back, and that's one less breath you got on this old world. And it's good to see a lot of them. Like I said, there's a few left of my dad's generation, which was like his double first cousins. They was a set of brothers who married a set of sisters. And so that's where the double first cousins come in at. And there's a few of those left, not many. And the rest of us are, I don't know if they call them as, I was sort of looked at as second cousins. Our parents as first cousins. I was sort of looked. Then you got people say, oh, that's first cousin removed. I do not understand all that, and I ain't figuring it out because I don't worry about it. That's just cousins. That's just kinfolk. That's the way we look at it. Of course, there's a few lost, gone, went on home since them days. And I was laughing, you set times, we're going to eat, start around 10 or so, try to do everything together, and then around 1 we'll eat. And there's some people running behind trying to go to church and stuff. And one of them, her mom's got some breathing issues. And my dad's generation and stuff. And took a little while to get her out, decide to get out of bed, to actually clean up, take a shower, come, or whatever. Time they got there, it was already, we was going to eat one a few minutes after 1, but we knew they was coming. We just waited on it, wasn't no big deal. And of course the daughters run around, I said, stop, take a breath. It will be okay. You're here. Well, she did. I said, what does it matter? You're here. That's all that matters. If you run a little bit behind, what the heck? I understand you'll go into like a doctor's office and visit or whatever nowadays. That's a big no-no. They liable to fine you $20 for being late or whatever, 30 or whatever it is nowadays, or if you don't call in. But you show up and they're running behind, well, that's a little different story because they got so much going on. And I sort of understand that. I sort of see some of that. But still, we're in this panic mode, it seems like, all the time. We got to be here. We got to be there. Everybody jumps on this big plane, and especially since we've come up with your GPS stuff. Everybody's constantly on GPS. Oh, they'll tell me I'll be there in 3 hours, 24 minutes. That's exactly when I'll be there. Unless they hit this, and I respect that. But, people get so, I think it's where a lot of your road rage comes from, because people has this idea, I have to be here, here, here. And you need to get out of my way. It don't matter. That's when I have to be there. Because that's what I was told I would have to be there. And sometimes we get so caught up in that anymore. I don't know, is it because we're so worried that we're gonna miss something if we ain't there? If we're 5 minutes late, if we're uh, the world has told us we have to do this. People are busy being told all the time where to go, what to do, believe everything, government's telling you whatever. But we get in our mind, I mean, people forget to slow down. You know, the old cliche is smell the roses and stuff, or sometimes take the path less traveled, see something a little different. Quit flying down the interstate, not seeing anything, and looking down. You know, most people's either doing the GPS, and half the time they're doing GPS, they're doing the phone like this. I come upon a guy the other day going up to town, and I, just be bopping along, running the speed limit. I finally thought, Lord, what's he doing? I thought for me it was going. I mean, I found it's really slow down. I thought, well, he's going to dead stop. Well, then he speed back up. He's from left lane, from yellow line to the white line, yellow line to the white line. Well, finally, after we get through all this, he slowed down, almost stopped, and then he go back on. Finally, get in town where it's double lane, and I go to pass it, and he's got that phone like this. I don't know if he didn't have his glasses on, but the phone was dead in his face like this. He's looking at it. And I was like, Lord have mercy, couldn't you pull off the side of the road and figure it out, or just make the phone calls of, hey, I don't know. But there's an Alabama talk about we're in a hurry, get things done, talk about rushing and stuff, and life's no fun. And I sometimes wonder if that's what it is. You know, time as you get older speeds up for all of us. You know, seems like yesterday it was just the first of the year, and here it is, near 3/4 of the year gone, near the end of August. And, you're looking how fast all this went through, how fast the time goes. Me and the sisters talked about, she can remember my dad using a horse-drawn wagon, horse-drawn mowing machine. Watched him do all that stuff. Of course, the time I was born and stuff, he had bought him a little old tractor and tractor mowing machine, turn plow stuff. So I grew up more then. The last horse we had, I think he finally sold it when I was about 6. I tried all the time, let me get a horse, Dad. Nope. His theory was, you get a horse, you'll be out riding. Well, I need you working. So, into that conversation. A lot of times it was like that. But in today's society, it's always about put it in, tell me how much it'll be. I need it right now, how much it's going to cost me. I want to know when you're going to deliver it to me. You got to have this. And I have to be here at a certain time. I have to go there. And it's like we're just running it fast, wide open all the time. We don't slow down long enough to enjoy it. Because we get so frustrated, you get in the backup, or you catch 3 red lights in a row, or the guy in front of you, like I was doing with the phone, and have at it, but I prefer not to get hit because you're going from left lane to lane, or dead stop in the middle of the road. But anyway, I wonder about that sometimes. Sometimes, like I've said before, good Lord, sometimes tell you just be quiet. No, I'm the Lord. Sometimes, is that what's the problem with us? Everything is buzzing around us so fast that if we literally slow down and stop, truly stop, and just enjoy it. Are we afraid of our own thoughts? Are you afraid that the world is passing you by if you're not right in the middle of everything? Do you feel that you're going to be obsolete, or nobody going to know who you are, or forget you or something? I don't know. I'm not exactly wired that way. I'm definitely a proverbially lone wolf, I guess. I've spent most of my life alone. Between being dropped off the farm at 12 years old, all day by myself, out working, being told you do this hard rake, whatever, it don't matter. The time I got into driving tractor and trailers coast to coast, and 48 states, about 30 Canada I've seen through a windshield, and still now, the way I live my life, pretty much alone. Sometimes we forget that, I believe. sometimes we forget to slow down, just to slow down a little bit, enjoy it. Hey, you made it. Don't be so frustrated that reason you's behind. You made it. You're in one piece. You're still alive. Be thankful for that. Be thankful when you get up in the morning, your feet hit the floor. Well, guess what? My feet hit the floor. I was able to roll myself up, and my feet are on the floor. I'm trying to remind myself every morning now when I get up, when I roll, just, I pray at the foot of the bed on my knees every night. And then when I get up mornings, when I roll over and sit on the edge of the bed, I try to thank Him for a good night's sleep, another day. Physically, I'm able to get up and go. I try to remind myself there's a lot of people who don't have that. They're not able to do a lot of stuff for themselves. They got to have people there all the time. And then you got the people who so busy running wide open, they don't stop and thank the good Lord for what they do have. They're searching for the next place to go, the next thing to do. I got to be here. I got to be there. GPS tells me I will be there. I got to be there. Or it becomes a race to see if they can outdo the GPS, because what it's telling you, I don't know. But anyway, hopefully you'll slow down just a little bit. When you get there, be thankful. Hey, I made it. You could have been in a car accident. Maybe something else happened, bad worse. Sometimes when you look at it, people talk about being aggravated, they got slowed down, but they talk about people who, like in 9/11 towers, something happened and they missed a reason to be there. They wasn't there when they supposed to be. Something happened, flat breakdown, whatever. People talk about missing an airplane flight, and that flight crashed, and they, whatever happened was ironic. It happened, but it did. Maybe the reason you should slow down is because the good Lord's going to back it up a little bit, slow down a little bit. Maybe there's a reason you got stuck behind that traffic. Maybe there's a reason you've got 3 red lights in a row. Maybe there's a reason you had that flat. I don't know. Sometimes we don't know. And we ain't supposed to know, I don't believe. But that was just my thoughts on it. Maybe it's just a rambling old man up here on the ridge. I don't know. But hopefully if you'll take time and if it slows you down a little bit, makes you think about the good Lord, makes you want to spend more time with Him. There's a passage about being in a darker closet in the Bible. Maybe that's what it is. Sometimes we need to shut out all the noise around us and just learn to be with ourselves and be happy with ourselves. Talk to the good Lord and find that peace maybe you need. Not be in such a rush or such a hurry that you're missing everything else going on around you. Or more than that, you lose all your peace. You're not at peace. You're ramped up all the time. Your body and physically, mentally, spiritually, you're just wore out all the time because you're in such a hurry. Gotta go, gotta go, gotta go. Maybe somewhere you can talk to the good Lord and find it and slow down a little bit. I'm working on that. Even patience stuff. I've always been pretty good at patience, but I'm trying to do better with that. I'm trying to be more mellow about things. Maybe I'll find that. Don't know till you look, till you try. Ask the good Lord to help. Anyway, folks, up here on the ridge, hope you enjoyed the conversation. Didn't bore you too much. Hope you take time to talk to the good Lord. I hope you take time just to find your rocking chair on the front porch, or maybe just, who knows, maybe you'll drive up to a little park and get out, walk, and go sit in the woods. Who knows? Something, find you a little peace. I hope you find it. I hope you learn to slow down. More than anything, I hope if you don't know the good Lord, I hope you take time to find Him, and that He comes into your life, and maybe find that little peace with the good Lord in there with you. But that's up to you. I can't make the decision. I can nudge you towards it, but you got to take that step. As always, please have a great week coming up. I hope wherever you go, whatever you do, you have one. I hope that you slow down a little bit, smell the roses, or sit on an old rocking chair on a porch somewhere. Anyway, as always, may the good Lord take a like or two, not too soon. And also Austin.